we doing okay? You got both of us on here?
We're here. Hi, Colleen.
Good morning.
How are you on this fine, great Northern Sexcast morning?
It's a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's lovely.
Pretty, isn't it? Yeah.
It's nice. It's hard to believe that a month ago we had like 3 foot of snow.
I know. And
I didn't know Minnesotans we sort of told us, but it was really if you have to like be trapped in your house for 2 days, you get to dwell on it.
Yeah, that's true. That's totally true. And, it's funny. We all thought that it was going to take a lot longer for the big mounds to melt than it did.
Oh, no, they melted. And I spent a big chunk of my Saturday and of my Monday sweeping up the debris left over from the large mounds of snow at the end of my parking lot.
Gross?
It was like 40, just a regular mop bucket, 40 buckets of sand, gravel, bits of asphalt, just dirt, because I was filthy when I was done. I was exhausted. My asthma was not happy with me. But it's my building.
Yep.
No one else is going to do it.
Yep.
Oh.
How's your butt?
I still hurt. Everything still hurts.
That's funny. It's beautiful, and I hope that wherever our audience is, that they're having a glorious start to their summer as well. This is a glorious thing for a particular Army veteran. He was in a military vehicle that ran over a landmine 14 years ago, back in 14 years ago. And he had damage to his penis. And he was not only, feeling very bad about himself, but he was also having erectile dysfunction, understandably. And he discovered something called the P-shot 5 years ago. And this stuff is really, coming a long way. 'Cause I think for such a long time, the mentality was like, well, once you break that, those are unfixable. Not so much anymore. So this guy is a civil engineer, and it's a non-surgical treatment that he researched. So I threw in his career because if you've ever done any business with engineers, which I have, these dudes are thorough. Yeah. And I mean, it's hilarious and impressive, and I mean it as a compliment. But anyway, so he said he started taking these injections, and it has to do with taking your own platelets and injecting them down into that area so that things can start growing and restoring. So it's almost like recycling your own cells, in a strange sort of way. And he not only says that he's doing really great, he feels really great, and he believes that he's grown 1.5 inches.
If he believes it, I'm sure that there's more than enough folks with injuries that would be willing to sign up for a clinical test.
Yeah. Yep. And so, there you go, guys, the P-shot. So look it up. They call it the part, that they use, it's platelet-rich plasma, and they take your own blood and then they spin it in a machine to remove the platelets, and then they inject it in the affected area. And he said, it's weird. It wasn't even that much blood, and they put it in this machine that looked like a coffee maker, and he's giving the patient account, which is kind of funny.
I know. I got was eons and eons ago. I did the Norplant, which for birth control, which was those 5 little things they put under the skin, and it had only been approved for a short amount of time. So when I asked about it, they said, "Well, come on by. We'll give you the information." Because I wanted to read about it. Long before you could Google anything, And so I show up at my doctor's office, and I realize what they've done. It just photocopied me all the instructions that they gave him.
Oh, you're kidding.
They hadn't had time to make a pamphlet yet.
No kidding. Wow, that new.
So I'm like, well, this is great, because I just I'm like, well, this was easy. It was an easy enough read, and I got to see all the information. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll do that. But it was the I'm like, the doctor handing you the how-to thing and why it works, which worked out really well for me, because the doctor I've been going to since I was 17 years old has been involved in a lot of studies, a lot of research, has taught all this sort of stuff. So I was like, he knew, we'd been talking, known each other for 20 years at that point or whatever it was. He's just like, here's the information.
By the way, I'm not yawning at you. I woke up at 4:00 this morning, and I've been up ever since. So I'm just a disaster, just so you know.
I have been at the passing out portion. I've been so tired. And you know, there's falling asleep and then there's passing out. And lately, I swear to God, it's just been passing out because you wake up like 3 hours later and you haven't moved and everything is achy and you're like, I have to pee. What would happen? There's cats. There's blankets. What?
It can wait.
Yeah, you're just desperately trying to figure out how to get out of bed.
That's funny. Well, one quick question for you though, because I've been out of the birth control game since I got an IUD, and I've had 15 years ago. I started that, and so you know, I just checked that off my list, and you know, don't pay attention anymore because mine's. But what was it like having that?
Oh no, it was a little weird because you could like if you looked at your arm, you couldn't really see it, but if you like pulled the skin, you could see the 5 little rods under your arm.
Okay,
and I did great with it. I loved it, but I guess a lot of other folks couldn't handle it, and it didn't really do well, and it really wasn't all that available afterwards.
Okay,
and I tried a bunch of other birth control, which I didn't particularly like. And then I ended up with doing an ablation, which I think I've talked about because I was just a cramp woman. Yeah. And at that point, I was almost 40. I'm like, you know, this uterus is a no baby zone at this point. I'm not being old lady with a baby. It just not. I mean, other folks fine. It was not my thing. So that was great. That was
So does that render you unable to?
Well, yeah. There's no lining. There's nothing to stick. I've probably gone through menopause now, but I hadn't had a period since I was 39 years old. It was spectacular. Now, sometimes you have less or just diminished, but sometimes you can get rid of them in general. So if you are done having kids or you don't want to have kids and you are a cramp woman for no other reason other than the fact that you have the parts, I'm telling you, this was spectacular.
Well, is this something that can be done electively?
Yeah. I mean, it was done. I did it, once again, I did it early enough that it was done like at Fairview, but now they do it like in the office. And it's just,
no kidding.
It's just sort of like burning off that first layer.
Huh.
And then so it doesn't build up. So there's no place for like an egg to stick.
Interesting.
I mean, it still doesn't mean it was just like,
I've heard of this, but I didn't know.
It was I mean, semi-elective. I couldn't be a parent of a toddler and be on Vicodin 3 days a week.
Yeah, probably not so
much. 3 days a month because of the cramps, because they were that bad. And I was really lucky too because I had a doctor, that understood when I said things hurt, it was not in my head.
That's nice. I've had female doctors that were busy about that.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, this shit hurts.
Yeah.
But I hear about folks that just are afraid to talk to their physicians, and I don't dismiss it, but I honestly don't. But it's not how my brain computes. I mean, I get that that's a thing and it's real and
it is.
And it's harmed people and all this sort of stuff.
Yep.
But it's just never been, that's never been me.
And I'm glad to hear that from you. I mean, I've had a lot of, unfortunately, and not to slam the entire Western medical profession, but I've had a lot of really crappy experiences with medical doctors.
Yeah.
And so I am one of those people that has evolved into somebody who has to be fucking dragged. Dragged.
Yeah, maybe it's because my mom was in the medical profession or something, and I was always comfortable around it.
Yeah,
so I did. I was dumb.
And you also were lucky enough to not to run into some of the assholes that Yeah. So I mean, that could be, but
because I saw I had someone send me a video yesterday. And I don't know if you saw that or whatever, and it's about a product. Because a lot of women have painful sex in there, and they don't for a lot of different reasons over the years.
Yep.
You can have painful sex, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that if you're shallow, or if you've had surgery or this, you could, having a penis or having something smack against your cervix can be uncomfortable. And so she's developed this product and she has a Kickstarter for it. And it's a sleeve that you put, and it's like a 3 rings, sort of like a shock absorber and a penis shortener. You put it, it's a sleeve that you put over the penis, and so you can decide how much penis is going in to your vagina. And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure we sell plenty of things that would do that. Multiple silicone cock rings. There are sleeves. When I asked her about it, she goes, "Oh yeah, that stuff exists. It may not be." And it's beginning to be marketed for that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're worried about, I mean, one, you do need to talk to your physician about painful intercourse, painful sex, stuff like that. But if you want to control the depth, multiple silicone cock rings, Screaming O has several sleeves. There are ways of so that it's just easier for your partner to know how much is going in.
Interesting.
And so, but if you're interested in the woman's product, I'll put it on. It's called O-Nut. It's a Kickstarter. Okay. It's a whole bunch of women talking about, how they feel like they're comfortable having sex again. And so I'm like, technically it could be competing with the stuff that I sell, but I am actually much more concerned that someone's comfortable talking about or learning about how not to have painful sex. Yeah, that's more important to me.
No, that's amazing. Well, good. I'm happy to see that people are trying to look for solutions, because that again was one of those things that people kind of silently suffered, and good deal. That's awesome. Good luck to those guys. But it's also kind of cool to know that there's things that will also sort of DIY versions.
Yeah. I mean, there's, like I said, there's a lot of there's, like I said, multiple silicone cock rings. You can decide, we can add the girth so that things stop, don't go any further.
Yep. Very cool. In other Facebook, you've got to be kidding me news, a kid had a picture of his newborn puppy in his hand, and Facebook took it down because they said it looked like a penis. It wasn't attached to anything. It's laying in his hand.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's like, well, is it, a severed penis? I mean, what do you exactly think this is?
How does someone see? That's the thing about, I don't understand how, it just that people are so freaked out about sex that a picture of a puppy in a hand or someone's elbow that looks like a boob or just, I mean, people, they've got to, bodies are not obscene. Yes. They just aren't.
I know.
I don't understand this stuff. We would really, 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 really be a lot happier if we weren't so worried about accidentally getting a view of another body part.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many other things. There are so many other things that you just don't. If
I don't like something, I don't look. I don't listen. I don't watch. Yeah, I mean, I don't.
When people sort of freak out over the social media, I'm like, how do you curate? How do you work your social media? I've got some things. Occasionally, I'll post something, that's the more political or more this or that. But it's not too much. I save that for Twitter. But for the most part, I spent a large part of my day yesterday looking at this one video of kittens in a box. That's how I have curated my Facebook. It's like 95% people's food, what their kids are doing, and kittens in boxes, or a guy swimming to go save a kitten on a post in a ditch. Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. It was easy enough to do. I mean, you can control what you see. I mean, I looked at some of the supposedly the ads that were bought by Russians and putting. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I didn't see any of these. Not a single one of them were familiar because I blocked. I blocked all the places that would have done this shit.
Yep.
I blocked the people that would have reposted this shit.
That's funny.
It's not that difficult.
No. Just for shits and giggles.
You have to work to be offended, for God's sake.
Some people, not everybody.
Not every,
Oh God. Mm-hmm. I'm just for fun going to try to pronounce the actual name. This is a Mexican hairless dog, by the way. You've seen pictures of them, right?
Are these the ones that sort of have the weird whiskers that look sort of like Albert Einstein?
They do.
Okay.
They do. Well,
around
you could be thinking I think you're thinking of what are those? No, that's an American breed. I think you're thinking of. Okay. These look like naked Chihuahuas. Okay. But the name is and it's anything that starts with an X and has a Z in it and a bunch of consonants. Let me give it a whack. Xoloitzcuintli. Unclear, but that's what it is. It was.
I've taken a bunch of Spanish and I've looked at that set, and I still look at that. Once I hear it, I can say it
Zihuatanejo is very hard.
And XL and Chocho and Chichen Itza. It just, I get it. Once I hear it a few times, I got it. But I don't have it. I don't have the sounds in my head.
Right.
I can't look at it, especially the X's. So what is this little doggy doing?
Well, the thing, just really quick, I just want to wrap this story up. This is a 16-year-old kid. He lives in the Philippines, and he just said, it's really, I think this is actually a very cute line. He says, it's really hard for me to see the penis perspective because when I look at it, I always just see the puppy.
Yeah. Aww. That's right,
It's cute.
It's a puppy. It's a dog. Yeah. Sort of like the folks that saw the vagina in a geode cake. What's wrong with your head?
Well, geodes do kind of look like vaginas, though. I mean, there's
not any vagina I've ever seen that's awfully damn
you don't have amethyst lining you?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, no, you had an ablation.
An ablation, and it certainly isn't multicolored. And I have an ombre cervix.
And it shouldn't sparkle because that means you've been putting stuff in there that shouldn't be there.
Sorry. I just don't get it. I see things and read words that I shouldn't all the time because I am bombarded with it all the time.
Yes.
Okay. And I see accidental boobs and penises and everything all the time. And I look at something and go, oh, that's not that. It takes like a nanosecond to go, oh, it's not that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You want to talk about stalkers for a second?
Stalkers? Mm-hmm. Okay. Please tell me a stalker did something stupid like get stuck in a rose bush or something.
Well, this one ended up being incarcerated, and the stalkee is okay. That's the good news. I'll give you that much right away off the top. So there's this online dating site that plays to women chasing rich men. Luxy is what it's called, Luxy, and they had one date. And she sent him, wait for it, 65,000 text messages. How long would that take?
How do you not injure yourself?
I know.
I honestly, I've got a little carpal tunnel and stuff like that, so that I don't understand how. I'm so confused.
Yeah. So they also caught her when she finally got in trouble. Was when they security footage. A surface that showed this gal taking a bath in this guy's home when he was not in the country. So she basically broke into his house and took a bath.
One date.
Yeah. Criminal trespass. And, her car was there with a large butcher knife on the passenger seat. And she did a little jail time. And facing stalking threats, harassment, and blah, blah, blah. Just gross.
That's just...
what?
Oh, that is just... when you... A lot of times when guys are stalking, it's a sense of entitlement. If I can't have this person, nobody else can. But when you do it, you're just like... Are they so socialized that there's going to be like this handsome prince and it got away that they can't drop it? What? They're all in different... how do you get to that point? More than likely she doesn't have doesn't own a home, probably doesn't buy anything nice because she's waiting to get married. Just everything. And then you go to that one step to having like weapons with you. Oh, this poor guy. That's just, at least he, the thing is that he has the means to
protect
himself.
Yeah.
But lots of other men and women do not.
Right. It's a good point. Yeah. That's a really good point. Yeah. So I thought this was kind of interesting. Male and female alike prefer a certain type of person for a one-night stand and a different type of person for a relationship. Wait for it. What is it?
Well, I'm gonna go with you have a chance to have sex with someone that you find physically attractive but may not particularly like, and you know that it's going to be a one night stand. I say folks just go for it. It's like, oh my God, because you're like, well, this is fun. Or it's like, like, wow, that's a couple of levels above what you can't pass it up.
Yep.
Is that what, I'm going to go, yeah. Well, but someone that has, someone that's more equal in everything to you. But if you,
you're not too far off. On the female side, men who flaunt their wealth are more attractive than humble guys for the short term. Mm-hmm. And guys like flings with wealthy women, but they are perceived, both the rich people, especially the cocky ones, are perceived as being more likely to have affairs and walk out on you and leave you.
Because they have, once again, because they have means, they don't need, they're not dependent.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this was actually studied at the University of Michigan.
So so in other words, they're studying people's perceptions, not the actual reality.
Well, yeah. Well, and one of the revelations about men and rich women is that, they don't mind having a fling, but they're threatened by the means because the traditional provider thing.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of interesting.
And they figure if they're willing to have a fling with me, why wouldn't they have a fling with someone else? Yeah. Especially if they're...
Yeah. So, okay, whatever. Sex worker Destiny, she works at Sherry's Ranch, which is in Nevada, which I told you the religious people trying to get that law overturned are working very, very diligently to try to make places like this shut down. But this is a full-service, 24-hour brothel, and Destiny has made $60,000 in 1 week. $60,000 a week.
I remember watching an HBO show, The Cat House or something or whatever it was, quite a number of years ago, and I realized that it's not like there's a set price for this stuff. It's still negotiated.
Really?
So if you're a good negotiator, I could certainly see that from what I saw on that show.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's you're not walking into like McDonald's and pushing on a board saying I want this, and this is how much this. No, it's still a one-on-one negotiation once you get in there. Mm-hmm.
The typical range, though, where she works per person, per worker, $2,500 to $10,000 a week. Mm-hmm. That is some humongous money. Big bling, big cash.
They also fork a bunch of it over to the brothel and everything. There's a lot of fees in that.
Cost of business, cost of doing business.
Oh yeah, the overhead in that is not. It's not like they're walking away with that.
Yeah, that's true. But she just it's kind of an interesting interview with a hooker. We'll post it up on the Great Northern Sexcast Facebook page. But she talks about why she got into it, and she goes, "Well, I was really promiscuous, and I thought I might as well make money." Yeah, but she also wanted to make her fantasies come true, and she kind of talks about it's an interesting article.
Oh yeah, I mean that's it. I mean there's just I've read that a few times that they're just really comfortable with sex. They really like sex. They like sex with a lot of different people. Why not?
It's as good of a reason as any in my book. I get it.
I mean, she's probably really good at it.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Good for her.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I hope you're saving for retirement, Destiny. Got a little bit of food theme going on today.
Food?
A little bit of food. Yeah.
Oh.
Have you heard of the Pizza Dare?
No. What insanity is this? Don't tell me that people are ruining perfectly good pizza.
No, the pizza's fine.
Oh, okay.
The pizza's safe.
Okay.
No, it's you order pizza and then you either answer the door naked or you drop your towel, but you flash the pizza delivery person. Started about 5 years ago, and if the person delivering the pizza is underage, you're going to be a sex offender. Ooh.
No, most folks are usually over 18 and driving stuff like that, but I mean, you don't know this? Oh, jeez, why would you? I mean, and honestly, this is not 80s porn. This is real life. Order your damn. I mean, I thought maybe you were going to say that you order the pizza and you try and have sex before it gets delivered.
That's far safer. Yeah. I don't want to have to register as a sex offender.
No.
There's another story I found. I'm just going to mention it because it's on the food theme. There's a new internet trend out there called naked dining. And what they do is they go into packed restaurants and get pictures of themselves flashing, and you're more successful and more likely to get higher ratings and likes and things like that if it's obvious that the people around you don't catch it. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just shaking my head here because I'm just like, oh, see, that the thing about that is that you're having fun, but the people around you haven't consented.
See?
And so what you end up doing is ruining good nudity for for other folks. This is why they end up, shutting down a nude beach or this or that, or it's going through there, or someone who acts, let's say I don't know, you accidentally spill something on hot and you've got to tear off your, just shirt somewhere, then someone like freaks out because you're trying not to have 3rd-degree burns or something. Mm-hmm. But then you don't have your shirt on. But, because people that do dumb shit like this, you end up having laws about.
Well, or lawsuits.
Yeah.
Because I took my top off and spilled hot gravy on my tits, so I think I'll sue Denny's.
Yeah,
and they'd probably win.
Mm-hmm. Because there's I have an employee manual here, and I can't possibly think of all the asinine things that someone could do that I say that you can't do. I had someone running their own business on my time, but since I didn't spell it, since I didn't spell it out in the handbook, when I fired them, they ended up getting unemployment. Why? I was flabbergasted. But I can't. The amount of asinine things that people can come up to do that I can't think of all. So you try and do and any and all things that might interfere with the business and reputation. It's very drives me nuts.
I don't blame you. I hear.
I don't give a crap if you get stoned at home, but you can't come into work and light up. But since it wasn't in this manual once, so now I had to write, by the way, you can't be stoned at work.
Be or get.
Mm-hmm.
Employment frustration. So
mind-boggling.
I don't know if I've ever heard this said, but I'm sure it has been to someone. Does this landing strip make me look fat? There's actually a new pubic hair design that claims to make you look thinner. I know. Go ahead, laugh. I did.
Sorry, nope. I'm just going to do some more head shaking. I'm going to grab my forehead here.
It's called the Edgy Mojo. And it claims, and Glamour did a piece on this, to create an optical illusion that flatters your curves. It's a triangle of hair. So the floppy gut you're going to be mesmerized by a triangle of pubic hair and not notice. I'm not buying it.
No,
Colleen.
No.
I don't think so.
No, obviously you're naked and the person you're with is happy that you're naked. They don't give a crap about anything else. You are naked. That's what they like.
Yes.
Just time and time again. They say, I'm just happy that the person is naked. I'm happy that we're having sex.
Yes. As well they should be.
Yeah.
This is something I have never heard of happening here in the United States. But if I were going to start something that I would want people to go and do in droves often and post pictures and video of, this would be it.
Okay.
This happened in the Ukraine, and there was a politician out campaigning. And a guy came up, the reporters thronged to the politician as he spoke, and a dude shoved a dildo up there in with the mics. That's fantastic! It's harmless. It's funny.
Oh, yeah. You think about the things you could wrap around. I'm looking at the mic, I have here. There are plenty of dildos you could.
Seriously, Colleen.
Oh, they really desperately, yeah.
That's awesome. Midterm elections. November.
And notch a bit.
Come on. Mm-hmm. October. I vote. We try to get all the Great Northern Sex Cast people to go out there, show up at a presser, and shove a dildo into the mic bank. Come on. Come on. How much trouble could you really get in?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure they could come up with something.
I love it.
I'm not saying I don't love it. I'm just saying
I love it.
Unintended consequences there could be something interesting.
Indeed.
Because I don't need the folks then spending time making a law about not having dildos at press conference. I want them spending time on real things. Because that's what's going to happen. Yeah.
How could you legislate against phallically shaped objects in public?
Well, technically, Minnesota already has a law against that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because if a kid, anyone under 18 can't see like faux body parts.
And you would know.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. God,
yeah.
man. There's
once again, because, if your 4-year-old happens to see a penis, they're going to be ruined for the rest of your life.
Oh, right, because they might not have, just because they have one in their pants, if they see another one, that would be bad. Okay, got it.
So, I know, there's statutes about that.
It's so sad when you think, it's just like you said earlier, of all the important shit going on, we grouse about these things. Okay. I'm not really sure how I feel about this and not really surprised, but here we go. There's a okay. It's almost like a double negative here. Virtual reality porn game in which you romp with sex robots through virtual, right?
Okay, my brain just.
I know, it's like looking down a hall of mirrors.
So you're having fake sex with a fake
person.
Fake person.
Yeah, that's in a nutshell. Yes. So this is a game. I know. Colleen and I are sitting here. Our eyes are darting around the room. We're scanning, trying to get our heads around this. And I think she just figured it out because hence the reaction.
No, just wrong. No.
The game is called SexBot, Quality Assurance Simulator. And the game it puts you in the shoes of a scientist tasked with arousing sex robots. And if you get it right, the sex robots return the favor. There's sex toys in the mix if you want. Yeah.
Do you suppose they developed this so that they could get around certain rules about porn or something because it's fake sex and fake people?
I don't know. If you want to look for it, the gaming company is Nutaku. And they have 75 million hits per month on their website, Nutaku. Nutaku will post it. But yeah, if anybody does this, let us know, please. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just saying. This is weird, but what's really not weird that we talk about, but over in the UK, women are having National Health Service funded virginity restoration operations. Between 2000 and 2017, 109 such procedures were carried out. But they said that it's probably a lot more because not all of, less than half of the UK hospitals reported how many they did. So they believe the number is actually much higher. And, what this is, it's called hymenoplasty, and it creates a scar tissue which will break and bleed the next time a woman has sex.
Do you suppose it has more to... I mean, they've given it a fancy name. It has more to do with possibly fixing other things, and they've named it this because this is what happens? Because there are plenty of folks that have... that when they give birth can have severe tears and a whole bunch of other things, need to go in there and fix everything. And this might be the side effect of that.
Doesn't sound like it.
Okay.
Doesn't sound like it in this article, but it's an angle that is very viable. The hospitals that did report on these provided relationship details for 59 of the 109 that we know of. 6 were married or in civil partnerships, 2 divorced, 48 single, 3 declined to say. Religious-wise, 48 cases, 38 of them were Christian or from the Church of England, 2 Muslim, 23 defined as no religion. So they can't figure out a pattern to this, and they did not take the medical angle that you just brought up.
Yeah, well, yeah, because someone was saying, because I mean, if you had been, if depending on whether or not you were incredibly religious and had been raped or something like that, you may want to try and hide everything and put everything back. But the thing is that having a hymen or not having a hymen has nothing to do with virginity.
That's right.
It just doesn't. It just being intact it just has nothing. It's a random piece of skin that can be there, not be there, break at any time.
I was so grossed out. This just popped. Well, a couple reasons. There's another royal wedding around the corner, which I've heard people saying, God, enough about it. And I've completely ignored it. So I
haven't seen that.
I'm unaware.
I did run across a thing about like royal family portraits. And I only watched it because it was like 60 years of fashion.
Oh,
that's
cool.
what, I'm like, nope, the 70s, I don't care who you were, ugly clothes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought.
That was just a bad era in fashion. Yeah. But I remember being a kid when Charles and Diana got married. And it grossed me out so bad at the time that they had her checked for virginity by a doctor. Remember that?
No, I
do. Because it heaved me out so bad when I was like, that is so gross and backward and fucked up.
Well, it's changed.
Oh yeah. No, that's
which is good. And I think,
great.
I mean, honestly, that probably, that still happened in the early 80s, probably had a lot to do with the fact that, things have changed a lot in the past 30 years. I mean, but at least nobody watches them have sex anymore. They used to do that.
True. And then other people pay to go do that with other people.
Yeah.
God.
No, I mean, because it was about procreation. So, and, arranged marriages and stuff like that. So to make sure it was done, they would get married and you'd go watch them have sex and then go on to the reception.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and they had to consummate it. Proof.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these, those types of marriages had to do with treaties. So they didn't want that. Okay. Say you get a note from your neighbors, Colleen, who would, if she didn't have kids in her house all the time, probably be naked a lot more often and running around, right?
Oh,
in your home. Okay. Same with these people. Fair. It's their house, right? They got a note in their mailbox, said, would you please close your blinds when getting dressed or undressing? We are sick of seeing big bums, big boobs, and little Willie. We will report you both for indecent exposure, your neighbors.
Well, one, they're inside their own house, and so indecent exposure does not count. I've actually seen a few cases on that. And two, it would certainly be easy enough if you want your windows open to get shears or blinds so that everything's just a little more cloudy.
Yep.
So both, a little, because there's just even though my house is, there's just a driveway between the house on one side and a driveway between the house on the other side. But the houses were placed and the windows were placed, and I can't really see into my neighbor's house, and they can't really see into mine.
Which is,
but
a good thing, yeah.
But for the most part, if I happened, I wouldn't look. I mean, maybe if they say getting dressed, it's obviously one bedroom into another bedroom. It's not like you're sitting in your living, No, once again, attempting to be, attempting to be offended. Yeah.
They're assholes. Well, what I love about this is the wonderful side of social media, in my opinion. They took a picture of it, put it up on Facebook, 15,000 suggestions on how to reply in 24 hours. And I wish that I had a list because I'm sure there was some really genius answers to it. So.
Oh, yeah. I think there would probably be more nudity in my house, not less.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah.
Kids are in their house. You can't. Yeah.
I'd be doing...
Time and time again, I've seen stuff in small news articles, Dear Abby, columns and stuff like that. This is not a known thing. Oh, yeah. And it's always, they're in their house, they're allowed to be nude, and, it's not like they're, parading out. And also it has to be salacious or done on purpose, not going to count.
Yeah. For sure. Well, and I mean, I'd be pressing stuff up against the glass if I got that note. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd be just making it worse. London barrister sacked after spanking session with junior employee on colleague's desk. It's pretty much the whole story right there.
You don't need any more? No, just,
Nope. But here's some humorous.
Wait, who is being spanked?
The junior associate.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe here's the senior associate was being spanked. Okay. Yeah.
But this a little lawyer humor, may I just say? He's a Cambridge grad. I mean, so it's like, they're Harvard Law, basically. He and the unnamed woman were said to exchange sex contracts in email, which of course isn't that what a lawyer would do?
Don't they know better than no paper trail, no electronic trail? They're freaking barristers.
But that's foreplay to them.
Burner phones.
Thereby, whereas herewith, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I bet it was hysterical.
Oh, I bet honestly, it probably was, but still.
Clever and
but
funny.
But if it's on company type.
Yeah.
No. Just you get yourself some burner phones and you text.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh jeez.
Okay.
Hey, I just realized my outfit matches the microphone. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
I'm just distracted here.
Fashion moment.
Yeah, I just looked down and went, hey, look.
It's a cute dress. Mm-hmm. So a jealous boyfriend shows up at girlfriend's apartment. He's 24. Mm-hmm. He'd been out drinking with his buddies, and the estimation was 15 pints and some vodka. Dude was fucking trashed, okay? Decided to go visit his girlfriend for what possible purpose I can't imagine, because if he was even able to do anything, he certainly wouldn't remember it. Problem is, she wasn't home. Like him, she too had gone out with friends. Upon discovering that she was not home, he then went and got her sex toys and set them on fire.
Oh, no. Those are good sex toys. And besides, they're going to be made out of things that you don't want to burn.
Silicone.
Yeah.
These were silicone. It's a problem.
Yeah, that's very expensive toys.
Very expensive. He was fined about $450 for harassment, charged to reimburse her $90 for the sex toys, and then pay another $200 in court costs. 2-year restraining order. She dumped him immediately, and that is all.
No burning of my toys. No.
That's some fighting words right there. That is a gauntlet of all gauntlets. You burn my dildo, there's going to be hell to pay. And court costs.
Oh, God, it had to smell like hell.
Oh, can you imagine?
Oh, I don't want to. Oh, no. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's that. So speaking of, we talked a little product earlier in the show, anything new, fantasy gifts wise right now, or anything we should be watching for?
Well, we've got, our Coochie line has been
Coochie.
It's a shaving cream line. Actually, men and women love it, and it's made for, speaking of landing strips and all that, made for intimate area shaving. But it's a great shaving cream. But it came out in some different packaging, different sizes, different scents. It's all out in the stores right now.
Very cool.
It looks really good to get ready for spring and wearing less clothing.
Nice.
And stuff like that. Our Burnsville location, if you're, will be closed to the 21st. Be closed on the 21st, and are closing early because we're doing some painting and rearranging some merchandise.
It's Monday.
That's Monday. Yeah, this coming up. That's about it. It's just I know there's stuff coming in, but I've been really busy with getting this Burnsville project done, sweeping my. I mean, the nuts and bolts of owning buildings and doing some stuff. I haven't really had a good chance to take a look what's coming in. I know that we got some beautiful Spartacus blown glass dildos in the other day. I saw those on the counter in the back, and they're just stunning.
Really?
And it's just
how do you not? Is there danger of them breaking?
No, they're made out of the same stuff that like Pyrex and all that's made out of. They're borosilicate. They're not. Yeah, I mean they're really sturdy. Yeah.
Every time you mention something like that, I get a little like ooh.
No, so they're beautiful pieces. I mean, yeah, you're not going to be dropping them on concrete, but I mean, you don't want to drop anything that like that on concrete. Even if you had a rabbit fiber or the electronics. I mean, they're all you go dropping things. Okay. But they're so pretty. We just got those back in.
Oh, neat.
And I know that we had a meeting with I was busy doing a deposit and stuff like that, but the staff met with the Fem Fund company, and they've got some. I just thought it was like the whole conference room was a table full of, it's like an 8-foot table, like it just filled with sex toys. The little dildos were sticking up, and I see them all the time. It's been almost 30 years, but when you see them like laid out, just like in a big jumbled pile on the conference room, you just pause for a moment and go, "That's funny."
Yeah.
It doesn't stop being entertaining. It just doesn't.
Well, good for you. Mm-hmm. That's always a good thing. Well, happy summer, and we will be back at you in another week. I'm going to go check out can you go show me the glass dildos?
Sure.
Okay, we'll see you later. I gotta go see this.